Gen X, are we adults yet? We got Tony Cardoza this week.
Tony.
Hello.
What's up?
Hi,
I'm Jason.
And I'm Greg.
We are Gen X, and welcome.
Bienvenidos our podcasto.
We're the last generation to grow
Welcome back to your favorite podcast. Shout out to our listeners, our YouTube followers, our fans over on TikTok, and of course, our Monday crew, those faithfuls that tune in every Monday and catch the latest, crispiest episodes we have to offer. Wherever you're listening, thank you. Please subscribe and follow. We are starting exclusive content over on TikTok. You guys want to find us on TikTok, Gen X, Are We Adults Yet? Follow us over there. We're going to do a bunch of live content and exclusive content that you're not going to find anywhere else. Find us on TikTok. Thank you guys for following. And if you haven't done so already right here on YouTube, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right down there in the corner. Let us know you're watching. And if you're Gen X, you should be subscribed already. Gen X people, Gen X people.
Yeah, you beat the intro this time.
I did. We have Tony Cardoza this week. Thank you.
The crowd goes wild.
And the crowd goes wild. I've known Tony since, I think, 6th grade. We played pop order football. His family was part of the Madsen Drive crew. You know, my early experiences in Ripon, I was friends with Justin Williams. He lived on Madsen Drive. Our dads were besties since elementary school. So when I got to hang out with Justin, I got to hang out with all the kids on that street. So I want to give a shout out to
Everybody on Madsen.
everybody on Madsen. But then we also had Randy Guy. Shout out to Randy Guy on Madsen Street. We had Billy Ross. Shout out to Billy Ross. Of course, Justin.
Randy, Billy,
Forgot
and
about
Justin.
Yeah.
All three of our friends have passed away, and all three of those kids grew up on Madsen Drive. So shout out to the Madsen Drive kids, and obviously much love and respect, and rest in peace, Randy, Billy, and Justin. So Tony was a part of that crew. Not that Tony doesn't have his own identity, his own name, and his own everything, but you know that's my connection to Tony was football, the Madsen Drive, and then later on I actually moved to Ripon. He's a year older than me. We got to be friends in high school, got to watch him do all the things he got to do. And after high school, Tony went on to do some great things. So that's why we have him on the show this week. We want to check in with Tony. You know, a lot of our friends are going to watch this, and we all remember high school. So we want to touch on that, but we really want to hear your life after high school, what you've gone on to do. And in our phone call, there's something that you've experienced that you're over the top proud of. And I think that is, putting a small town athletes on a national stage, right? Is that what we're doing over there in the wrestling program?
Yeah. I just finished my 20th year at Durham High School coaching, and in that time we won. I moved there. I actually coached there for about 10 years, and then I decided to move there. It's a little farm community that's right next to Chico.
Right.
And it reminded me a lot of Ripon, honestly. And so, I wanted my kids to go to school there. I wanted to, have them wrestle where I was coaching. And so we moved there. And in the time that I've been there, we won, I don't know, like 13 boys section championships. Girls just started recognizing it, and we won 2 girls section titles. We won masters for the boys and masters for the girls. And this year we qualified like 11 kids to state. So from a small 300 kids school, it's pretty amazing. 5 boys, and one of the girls was my daughter. So that was cool. She's only a sophomore. So there was a lot of fun this year.
Very cool. So let's go back to graduation, high school a little bit. Touch on high school. What was that like for you? And then kind of lead us out of high school. What were some decisions that you made? How did you go? You're a lawyer. You practice law. How did that career start? What was that going? And your sister's in law too. So was there like a family thing going on? Did she follow your footsteps? Was this something that was talked about around the dinner table? What's going on?
No. It was all by chance, honestly. Like the only reason I really even went to college, was to wrestle, and so that was the truth. I honestly wasn't great in school, and I didn't put a lot of focus on it, unfortunately. But I went to college. I went to go state wrestle, and then while I was there, just randomly, so it kind of started. My idea of becoming a lawyer started with Mrs. Hall, really.
Tell me.
Well, it actually, he did the moot court. He started the moot court team, and then we went to moot court, and Ripon went to state twice in it.
Oh yeah, I remember that whole thing. You guys were pretty
We went
badass.
to the state championship, and I vividly remember going down there just getting our asses kicked by these teams that had actual warriors as coaches, right? And so they were doing, objections and all this stuff that I know now as an attorney, but we had no freaking idea what was going on when we went down there at the time. We just got the shit kicked out of us, and it was super embarrassing. But it was also like, hey man, this is really cool. I like this. Obviously, I like to argue a lot.
Yeah.
So, it just was a good fit. But then I went to school to actually be a teacher and a wrestling coach. And we randomly, my first week in school, there was a guy on the wrestling team that was a senior that said, hey, if you need new units, I'm running an internship program. It's this legal information center. And so I talked to him, and I got into this program like with him really quickly, and then I just changed my major. And so really quickly, I was in the pre-law program at Chico State. I changed my major, and I got hooked up in this program, and I pretty quickly got a job at a law firm doing criminal defense, and I just fell in love with it, and it all went from there.
So you're criminal defense. You're like what we see on, what was it, Liar Liar. Jim Carrey was a criminal defense and getting sticking up for all the knuckleheads out there, right? Criminal defense, right?
Yeah. Alleged knuckleheads. Alleged knuckleheads.
Correct.
Allegedly.
So, side topic, there's some trends that float through on social media. And one of the ones that I watched was, it was a lawyer going through the office, and he was having people say something in legalese, right? How would you tell somebody that you're hella dumb in legalese? Well, it appears that you're blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Being a criminal defense lawyer, you have to pretty much break it down like you would, anybody on the street, and you just tell them that they're dumb. You can't really use legalese in criminal defense.
Right.
I mean, you work for the county, right?
I do.
So, we probably have a lot of similar clients, A lot I love being criminal defense. I do a lot of other stuff, by the way. After, the whole cancer thing, I kind of shifted my career and tried to do some other things. And now I'm at a law firm, and I do a lot of civil stuff too. But just anything that we have to go to trial and argue about, I'm in on it. And so, but the long story short is, I love doing it. I really look at criminal defense a lot like I look at coaching, which is, trying to help these people get together, become healthy, reunite with their family. So while I am doing the defense part, a lot of what I'm doing also is trying to help them get healthy. You know what I mean? And change whatever it is that got them to that point where, the best, the most, I've won a lot of big trials, but really a lot of the other success stories are, walking around farmers market, you run into an old client with their family, and they remind you that you represented them like 10 years ago, and this is their kid and their family, and they've got a job, and things are going really well. To me, that's equally rewarding. When you do that, and I do a lot of that. And so I really kind of look at my hobby and my job as kind of the same thing, where you're just trying to get people to do healthy things, do positive things in the community, and get themselves, in a spot where they can succeed.
Right.
And that's in both my day and my evening time job.
Day and evening. That covers 2 time zones, Tony. You have 2 jobs. You got things that cover the bulk of the day.
Yeah, I do. I obviously, you get up early and you go do your law job in court. Most of my court's in the morning, but then a couple of days a week I also teach at Chico State, and then I go to practice in the evenings and coach wrestling.
Right on, man. Right on. So you're completely giving back to the kids, to the students, to the people that you encounter, whether it's, in a legal fashion or in the classroom or on the wrestling mat, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back out of high school. You went to Chico. You were there. A few things happened. You shifted your major. You went to pre-law, landed a job at a law firm. You've been practicing law. Any chance you get to go and jump in court, you're on it. I thought of a question. What was more meaningful, like in this moment, or explain your first touchdown or your first case that you won? I've scored a touchdown. That's a big freaking deal, Tony. I have, and it was in Pop Warner football. But you know what? I did it. I've scored a touchdown. It's a big freaking deal.
Yeah, I don't really remember my first touchdown, but I definitely remember my first trial that I won.
Tell me about it. Well, can you talk about that kind of stuff, or I mean, is there a way you can kind of share that with us, or?
Yeah, I mean, I had got, it's hard to win a criminal case, right? Because I hate to break it to you, but a lot of your clients are guilty. I like to say that I only defend the innocent ones, but that's not true.
Sure.
But yeah, it was, I had lost, I think my first 4 trials. My first trial I did was in law school, right? I did an internship at the public defender's office, and as long as you had a supervising attorney, you could do the trial, right? And so they would give you these really crappy trials that they have no chance of winning, so that they would catch the bullets, right? So I had a couple, I had one there, and then I did, probably 2 or 3 here in Butte County, and again, I was working for a guy, so of course I got equally crappy cases to take to trial.
Right.
The first one was, possession charge, and it was not that big of a case, but I definitely remember, winning it, and it was great. There's been a few of them there that are pretty notorious that I remember along the way, and I've done a lot of them. I've done over 100 trials. I've done a lot of trials, and so. And I'm old, man. I'm old.
Speak for yourself, bro. I'm still. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that your
Just
favorite
turned
thing?
53,
Like
man.
actual arguing live in the courtroom like that?
I do like it. It's like getting ready for trial is terrible, right? Like it's all the stress and anxiety, and just like. The way that I deal with it is I really work really hard on the case, and so getting ready for it and preparing is terrible, and I hate it. But like when you walk into court and you're picking the jury and you're doing all that, like all that goes away, and it's like really rewarding. I feel like it's like when in sports, like when you train and you get ready, like when you go out to do it, you're not really that nervous anymore because you put all the effort into it and getting ready. And that's how I treated. This like I treated sports, right? It's like just over prepare, and then you feel good about whatever the outcome is, because you put the most you can into it.
Right.
And so I love going to court. I love arguing. I still love being in front of a jury. That's my favorite thing.
So, the movie Liar Liar, there's a few things that they talk about in there, whether it's true or not. And one of the questions in there, I want to throw some at you. I know you've heard these before, but like in that movie, they talked about, again, this is Hollywood, Tony, so educate us. They had a joke in there that said a burglar broke into that lady's house and fell and landed on a knife and sued the lady. So if a burglar breaks in and gets hurt, is the homeowner liable? How would that work? I doubt that would carry today in a court case. But what I like to tell people is like, hey, can you sue somebody for that? And so you could, if you find a lawyer, or you can do it yourself, you can sue anybody over anything, right? Yeah.
It is whether you're going to win.
Right.
And I mean, the problem, I think a lot of the problem is there's a lot of suing going on, and a lot of times there shouldn't be, and that's kind of the systemic problem that we have. I tell people, can I sue over them? Like, you can sue over anything you want.
Anything.
It happens all the time, right? But whether you're going to win or not is a whole different story.
Right. Okay. Tony, did OJ do it?
He was found not guilty.
Fair. So, other questions I have. Can you just quit a case? Is there any penalty for that? Do you need a good reason? Are you bound or obligated to see this through under
there's a word for it.
certain circumstances, right? Or
I'm a private criminal defense attorney. So if you have a breakdown with your client, you just can't work with them anymore, then we can get out of a case, and a client can fire me, at any moment because they hired me, right? So, if you're a public defender and you've been appointed by the county, that's a different thing, right? I've been a private attorney for, the 27, 28 years I've been doing this. I've never been a public defender. So yeah, I could get rid of my client and my client could get rid of me.
Fair.
And doesn't happen very often, but that can happen, yeah.
So if your client says they're innocent, but you find out they're not, what do you do? Does that change anything?
For me, it doesn't change what you do, right? I mean,
Sure.
you have to defend your client no matter what. I mean, the burden of proof is on the government to demonstrate beyond a reasonable doubt guilt. So it doesn't change what I do. A lot of what we do, if they can't prove it, they can't prove it. Period. So that's the reality of it. But the majority of what we're doing is we're getting a result that is fair. We're trying to get what the charges that match the facts and put into the equation a person's background, whether or not they're going to succeed on probation, whether or not they have a record. You kind of put all that together and you try to get a reasonable and just resolution and something that's fair. That's a lot of what you're doing.
And that resolution could include a program. It could include jail time. It could include community service, fines, fees, all that stuff, right?
It could include prison, right? I mean, a lot of what, I'm an older attorney here, and I've been doing this for a long time, so a lot of my cases are really heavy, right? And so, I mean, it could, but if you're dealing with like a first offense, something like that, you're always in there. There's issues, and a lot of them have drug and alcohol issues.
Yeah.
Like an underpinning to a lot of criminal activity. And, a lot of it is out of desperation and whatnot. You're trying to fix that. You're trying to incentivize the client to go get help, and it will help their case. And they start to do that, and then you start to see maybe some real change, and then, hopefully they don't come back, right? And you're trying to make them healthy.
Got it.
That is a lot of what we do. I know that's what you do. And, that's rewarding when you do that. It is.
I agree. We all show up for a reason. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
A few moments ago, and I already know this about you, but you said the C word. You said cancer, Tony. Tell us about that. What happened?
Yeah, it was 2000 and November of 2015. I had like a mass in my neck, and I just discovered it one day. So I went to the doctor, and they figured out that I had stage 4 lung cancer. And it was HPV, so I didn't even know what that was at the time. But within a month, I was doing chemo radiation. And it was freaking brutal, man. When you hear, when you hear those words, it's like your life gets very simple, really quickly.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear stage 4, you're like, holy shit. And I had little babies, man. I had my son wasn't even in high school, wasn't even in kindergarten yet. My daughter was maybe in 1st grade, and my oldest was in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade. And so it was just like, holy shit, and then panic mode, and then immediately into treatment.
So obviously you're a survivor, right? You're here with us. What was the end of it? The resolution? How long did it last? Is there any scare or any concern of it moving forward? I mean, is it completely we're good now? Or how does all that work?
Yeah, I mean, so what happens is what they told me is they're like, look, this is one of the most brutal treatments you can have, but it has a good prognosis, right? So I'm like, okay, well that sounds great. And what they do is I put a feeding tube in, before you start, because basically they're radiating your whole neck and your mouth and everything. Is just you end up not being able to eat. I went from like 175 to like 130 over the span of like a couple months.
Yeah.
And so you're in radiation every day, five days a week, twice on one day. So you're essentially going 6 times. And then they do it all day chemo, like 3 times. One in the middle, one in the middle, one at the end. And so it's like a 6-week protocol. And so you're basically at the hospital, 5 days a week, in this tube, being radiated, 15, 20, 30 minutes a day. And then, the rest of the time you're just in pain, right? Like in this excruciating pain, trying to trying to get enough nutrient into you, like to survive. I got hospitalized a couple times with fevers, usually right after a chemo.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, it doesn't get any better for a while. Still they burn the shit out of you, so it just keeps getting worse for weeks after that. But so I started treatment on Christmas of 2015, and I think May of 2016. So a few months later, I was, out of the house, going back to the office a little bit, and I think I went back to court in June. But you weren't, you're not like doing well for quite a long time after that, right? And then, I went back. I was working for myself, right? So I had to go back to work. Like, I had just bought a house in Durham. I had essentially spent all my money on the house. Nobody was making money there, right? Nobody was gonna. I had to go to work, and so I went back and just slowly but surely got stronger and back, and my life just fundamentally changed after that moment. You know what I mean? It was just like it was. I literally have a thing on my phone that every day I get up, I count the days that I've had since my last day of treatment, which was February 2nd, 2015.
Okay.
I think this morning was 3,327 days since that day, right? Like I literally think of every one of those days as like an extra day that I didn't have before, right?
Yeah.
My daughter's now in high school. My other daughter just got married last year.
Congrats.
My son is in 7th grade, and he wouldn't even remember me. I was 44 when that happened, and we weren't even, the little kids wouldn't even remember me at that, if it would have got me. And so, it's been a long trip since then, but like I try to tell people, you can't beat the smile off my face walking out every day, you know what I mean? It's freaking awesome.
I love that. So one of my questions was going to be, so what has changed for you in your life and your outlook? You count the days like a sober person counts their days, because that's what it means to them. I got new life. I got to live again since this freaking day. So I love that, Tony. I do. So, you said your kids wouldn't remember you. You said, that this happened when they were quite young. What's it like now? Do you talk about this? Do they understand the whole story? Did you ever sit them down and tell them, hey, for a while there, that thing that was, the bandages and stuff, or why Daddy was gone, or do they know that story?
Yeah, they probably don't remember a lot of it. They remember a little bit. My oldest remembers all of it, right? Like she was in 8th grade and she was, dealing with a lot of it. And my wife is amazing. And I'll tell you, we were recently cleaning stuff out, and I ran across this notebook, right? And I opened the notebook, and it's like just this, it's like a notebook you would have for school, right? With like lines in it, and it's like she was writing down every time she would give me a medication, or when I would throw up, or when whatever, like the time, the day, the time, and it was all single space, right? And it was every page, dude. Every page, all the way down. And I started looking at it day after day, and I'm looking at the time, and I'm realizing that my wife like fucking never slept for like weeks, right? And then also taking care of the family, and doing everything that keeping the kids going to school. Like I literally just started crying, right? And my wife, holy shit, like she didn't sleep for weeks and weeks and weeks while I was just out of it, And so it's just. The kids, everybody knows, we talk about it. Yeah, sure. We talk about it because it's part of what happened, And I still have like other things going on because of it, residual things that you have to deal with. But it's nothing big, right? But I'm here, so I'm not going to complain about it. But it is a thing.
I'm here, so I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I hear you, man.
And how do you change it? I mean, I don't worry. Like I don't really stress about a lot. I mean, I'm not nervous about. I was pretty burned out, to be honest with you, with my job and everything. I really didn't. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. I was, I was burned out basically.
Yeah.
And after that, and sitting on my ass for that long, like not being able to do anything. Dude, I was like rejuvenated in all aspects of my life. I was like, I'm so stoked to go to work. I'm so stoked to go to work. I'm so stoked to go outside, right?
I do.
Like, and that shit has not worn off. Like I am still like I'm crazy busy and I love it. I mean, of course we all get tired and frustrated periodically, but like, I just look at that timer every day and it's like, man, it's awesome. It's awesome to be here and do this. And like I was saying, yeah, I'm happy to be here doing this with you.
Gratitude, man.
That's what I was about to say, dude. Gratitude.
Love it.
I was surprised, honestly. I thought we were going to do this like on a tailgate with maybe some red solo cups and an orchard or something. Like maybe back when we did it.
So the next reunion, let's have it in an orchard. Let's have a couple of classes together. I mean, I am down. I'm not scared, Tony. I am not scared.
I feel like you guys did this a lot in high school. That's where it was.
Oh, you didn't go to high school parties with us? You weren't there? You weren't there?
I might have been there. I might have been there.
What was your first job, Tony?
What do you mean?
When you were a kid, what was your first real job where you're catching a paycheck?
I got a job at. I don't know if it was my first job, but I worked at. What's that restaurant that didn't last very long?
The Pine Burger. The Pine
Burger. That's it.
Yeah, that's where we worked together.
Yeah, I worked there.
Me, you, and Richard Kamingo were the dishwashers when that place opened.
I had several dishwashing jobs, dude.
Yeah.
I did that a lot. I washed a lot of dishes.
The Pine Burger.
And then I did some, my dad had me on a roofing in between my senior year and going to college to make sure that I never came back, and that was pretty successful.
Yeah, my dad did that to me too. Like, I'm never going to be a plumber. After that.
My dad made that very clear.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to be a welder, and I have no skills, so I had to pay attention in school.
Right. Your wife, is she a ripping girl? Did you meet her in Chico? Tell us about that story.
When I came back, I went to law school in San Francisco, and then I got a job in Chico with the guy that I worked for when I was in college, and I came back here, and I met her here, but she's from Modesto. She was in grade Davis. She graduated a year before me. So she was a class of 88, grew up around in Central Valley, so we had a lot of things in common, but I met her here.
That's a trip. That's a trip.
Wow.
So you guys can have like mall stories and stuff.
It's funny. She's amazing. But yeah, I met her in 98 year. And it was, you know where I met her is, she worked at a bar in Tina Day.
I do.
Tina and Lisa Day.
I do.
Tina worked up here as a manager at a bar, and so of course I would go there because I would get free drinks. And my wife Billy worked there as well, and that's how I met her. And Tina still lives here. Lisa still lives here. I'm really good friends with both of them. Still, our kids grew up together. It's
very
pretty cool.
Okay.
That was like the college that so many ripping kids went to.
Yeah, a lot of ripping kids went here.
Still is. Yeah, that's where my daughter's friend went. Now she never left.
Yeah.
She's now stuck in Chico now.
Stuck in Chico?
Yeah, Humboldt.
It does that, man. It's a great place. It's a great town.
Tony, take a second, and I want you to tell us about some of or one of your greatest accomplishments, whether it's personal, professional, kids, wrestling, home life, whether it's, maybe just surviving cancer. What are some of the greatest things that you would say?
I'm pretty happy with a lot of things, but it depends on what area of my life I'm talking about, but I am, I'm really happy with the work I've done, as an attorney, but, I'm really proud of how many kids I have in college right now wrestling, and a lot of them, the reason why I'm coaching is because of what it did for me, right? Like I really don't know where it would have been without it. I was pretty, I was getting into a lot of fights. I was doing, I was dumb. And I made my way into the wrestling room and Coach Cox and, on the football team with Coach Hall, Hall. You guys kind of just changed what I wanted to do and what I even believed I could do, right? And so, that's why I'm coaching, is that I feel like if I can do that with other kids and kind of change the direction of their life, I needed to do that. And, when I started, I had a son that passed away, and when he was born, I got into coaching 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I started doing that, and I feel like that's why he was here, right? Is to get me back into the sport that kind of changed me.
Right.
And so that's why I've been doing it for 20 years, and I just now have kids that are on my team, right? Because I felt like that's why Nico was here, and that's why I got involved in it. He got me into it. He passed away. I'm doing it kind of to pay homage to him for getting me back into the sport. And I feel like the sport has continually kind of saved me, even whether it was as a wrestler or whether it was as a coach, kind of pulled me. It saved me when he passed away, I'll tell you that. I couldn't go back to work. I couldn't do a lot of things, but had to go back to practice. And I was young, I was wrestling at the time, and I went back in the room and I would wrestle every day with the high school kids. And now one of them is a lawyer. The kid that I particularly, this really good kid that I was wrestling with every day, he's now an adult with kids and is a lawyer, and that guy saved my life, from a really terrible time, but wrestling, I got to go back in the room. I threw a picture of my kid on the ground, and I said, hey, he just passed away, but I'm here, I'm going to keep coaching you, and then we're not going to win anything, we're just going to wrestle every day.
Yeah.
I did that for like a month, and I was able to go back to work. So, I mean, to me, what I'm doing with wrestling is more important, and the impact that I'm having, and having these kids that, are in junior high or high school, and they might be going down that wrong road or not making good choices, and then, they end up going to college or succeeding and getting degrees. To me, that's the most rewarding thing.
Yeah.
You're not a good parent, right? You want to do the same thing with your children, but that's probably the thing that I'm most proud of is my impact on kids like that.
Right.
That's like super rewarding, and they end up being really good friends. I have a kid working for me right now. He's a lawyer out my law firm, and he's a kid that I just pulled out of class, talking him into being on the team. And now here he is, a lawyer. He has a kid. He has another baby on the way. He's about to be 29 years old. And that's awesome.
Yeah. It is. That is. Let's go over to the health scare. Let's go over to the cancer years. What would you say to someone who is struggling with their health right now? And I don't mean just like, regular health stuff. We're talking life and death stuff. How did you get through it? What was some of your saving grace? Did you lean on the Lord? Was it lean on the family a lot? Was it just white knuckle, just hope and pray that I wake up every morning? Like, what was that part like?
Well, we both have a friend that just got a bad diagnosis recently, Scott.
Yes.
And so, and it took me back, right, to that time, like, like whenever I have two friends right now that are battling, one of them really battling the cancer that I had. And I also lost one of my best friends that I was when I went out on my own. Him and I opened up an office together. We just had our own office, but we shared space.
Yeah.
He ended up dying from cancer that I had. So I've had a ton of people that I know now that have had what I had. So when somebody has what you had, they find you and they talk to you about it, even if So I've talked to 20, 30 people that have had what I had. But the long story short is, when you hear that, you're immediately, you can't do anything, right? Like you just think you're going to die, and you're desperate. You feel it's just a terrible feeling. But that eventually, hopefully, for me at least, it's subsided. And I just go, all right, now I got to learn as much as I can about the situation, right?
Right.
So I studied, I went online, I talked to people who had it. Like, I just immersed myself and educated myself on what I had and what I needed to do, and kind of figure out a game plan to fight it. And then I was like, all right, we need to start this shit. Like, I win as soon as I get in and start fighting. Like, I just wanted to fight it, right? And get in there. And then, it's like, you're in survival mode, It was just like, I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to beat it. And it was like, I think a lot of the thing is, and what I saw in the cancer unit. And what I've learned through my experience and watching other people and watching people succumb to it is like when you decide you're done, you're gonna be done, right? Like
Right.
meaning if you don't think you're gonna make it, you're probably not gonna make it.
Sure.
If you think you're gonna make it, you have a way better chance of making it, right? It's literally how you deal with it and how you take it on. And so to me, it was like I had a little kid, right? I saw him, I was just stare at them, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm gonna die right now. It's just not gonna happen. It wasn't even like at no point did I think that I was actually gonna do it. And looking back now, I realized there was a couple times it was pretty close, right? Like the two times I got hospitalized, it was very, very close. But it's a mindset. It really is a mindset.
Yeah.
So no matter what anybody tells you, you're going to go through that period of time where you feel sorry for yourself. You're upset. You are like thinking about all the shit you're gonna miss, right? Like all that happens, right? But thereafter, at least for me, I was like, all right, I'm done with that. That's just not helping me. Like I gotta go figure this out. And then it was just like learning, and then just getting the right mindset and just fighting it, and that's it. It was just like I didn't have a choice, right? It was like you have to have your why you're here.
Yeah.
And people that I've seen, they're just tired of it. They're like, I'm done. My friend was just like, I'm done. Like I don't want to do this. And when you say that, that's pretty much what happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tony, we are international. Our audio only podcast is in like 12 or 13 different countries. We have downloads going around the world. We had like just last month, like 12 people in Ukraine listening to our show, right? So we are worldwide. Our YouTube is worldwide, right? It's not as big as our audio only, and our TikTok is just starting. But what I'm trying to get at is we have a decent sized audience. We're not large and it's kind of scattered, but we have an audience. Tony, is there something you want to leave us with? Whether it's from a coach, Tony, or Coach Cardoza, or if it's from Survivor, Tony, or if it's just from you as a person, just like, a cumulative of everything you've learned,
Message to the world.
Is there something you want us to know? Is there something you just want to leave us with that just leaves us marching on, just no pressure, Tony, no pressure, but.
I've been through some terrible shit, you know what I mean? And, I don't think there's much worse than losing a child. And there's not much scarier than stage 4 cancer. But, you gotta learn how to deal with it. And, I just think a lot of people spend a lot of time worrying about stuff that when you peel it back, it just doesn't matter, right? And when it takes things like that to happen to you, where you really realize, like, why are you mad at the person at work? Or why are you stressing about this or stressing about that? Because when it comes down to it, first of all, like a week probably won't even matter. But, if it really came to it, it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, what we need to do is spend as much time as we can here, having fun with the people that matter the most, the people that you love, and doing good things, right? Like, you're not out having a good time and with people that you love, like, do something that makes you feel good, right? Something that's making everything better. And, helping people, I just enjoy that part of it, helping people. It's very rewarding, even if it takes a lot of work,
Right.
If everybody was doing that, I think it would be, the world would be a lot better place. It's rewarding, and so have fun. You never know when it's your last day, so hug the people that you love, and that's about it. That's all Coach Tony has to say.
I love it, Tony. Thank you for joining us this week and being our guest and putting yourself out there again. I've said thank you a whole bunch of times. I just appreciate your time, and I appreciate some folks don't want to talk about stuff. They just don't, and I get that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when we do get folks that want to come on and share, I appreciate it. So, Tony, thank you, bro.
Yes,
I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, guys. Great to see you guys again.
All right.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for.
Yeah, let us know next time you're around.
Hey,
We'll have you live in the
I
studio.
will.
I get to DJ
Thank
the
you,
Almond
guys.
Blossom dance at Ripon now. So if you guys come down for Almond Blossom and go to the party afterwards, I get to DJ that stuff. So
What's the Almond Blossom?
yeah,
Almond Blossom, that big dance, the dance they do every year.
the big party they do at
Oh,
the.
yeah. You know what? That's always in February, man.
Yeah.
And that's right in the heart of wrestling season. So I just got done with wrestling season. So I'm like, all right, but I'm going to be coming down there in the next month for sure.
Okay. Post it.
I'll call you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. That's going to do it for us,
All right.
folks. Want to give a big shout out to Tony again. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
Peace out, everybody.
Hey.
That's the wave. Doing the wave. He hung up.
And he's gone.
And he's gone.
Hell yeah.
All right.
That was
Yay.
awesome.
So stop.